can't get used to that cut off. It's just too.
I know. I need to adjust it. I'll adjust.
Can get your skills cracking there. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 43 of the second series of the Plastic Crack podcast. 43.
I know. We've already passed last year's
42.
42. We already went past that.
Yeah, but we did. I can't remember how many episodes we did last year. It wasn't the whole year, was it? So we're online for 50 odd, I think, because we've done it. I think we take 2 weeks off, don't we? So
yeah,
50 odd. So we've only got 7 left.
Ooh, either way, we're up to 43. Welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining us on this Monday night for your usual start of the week tomfoolery, let's call it that. I think you're going to call something like that.
Man down.
Oh, yes, I was about to say that. We are a man down, as you'll see.
Don't feel sorry for
read out
him,
the message he sent. Shall I read out the message he sent? So just as the stream is starting, we've had a message from young Dominic, who is in Malta. And it says, have a great stream. Thinking of you. Not really.
I'm quite surprised he didn't put in there, don't let Ken talk about it.
And then there's a picture of some wine, a Knights Hospitaller book, and I assume that's the ocean. But yeah, there we go. So
yeah, but that's a historical book, isn't that? What uniform? Can you make it out what it is?
Yeah, it's a Knights Hospitaller book.
Oh, fair
I zoomed in. I already zoomed in.
Oh, you zoomed in there.
Dom's next project.
Just glad to see the comradeship. You know, we're here busting our asses. He's off in the Mediterranean drinking wine. Honestly, some of the things we have to put up with. Anyway, big thank you to everyone that's watching this on the catch up. By the way, we do appreciate you checking out the podcast after it's finished. See, look at that, 4 minutes past 8, and I'm already done.
Yeah, I never doubt you, Steve. You're always good with it.
It's because I'm organised.
It's just certain people.
Certain people.
They're not very good at it.
What I might do
is say more than you. I just do it to annoy you.
What I might do is put together an Excel spreadsheet with like a podcast flow chart.
Oh yeah.
God.
I can see the enthusiasm pouring from you both there.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Speaking of the other two, so up there we have Ken from Miniature Wargaming Warriors, who has been breaking the internet over the past 7 days.
Controversial.
Rumor has it there's at least 7 contracts out on Ken at the moment.
There is. I still think that your tagline should still say "shill" underneath it, because that's my favourite.
I was tempted.
Massive shill.
Cheers all.
But yeah, Ken
we're gonna have a little chat, aren't we?
Yeah, Ken breaking the internet like nobody else can. And he's pretty proud of himself as well.
I couldn't give a fuck. It was great replying, and just yeah. Cheers, Bill.
Oh man.
Moving on up there, rather, we have Martin, seventh son, who hasn't been breaking the internet, who has been the voice of reason and calm and solidarity.
Yeah, I was the voice of calm. I thought I was quite good for me. I was quite restrained.
You were. It's only because Hayley checks your comments before you send them.
No, she didn't check that one actually. The one that wasn't checked. That was all me. I was very tired, and but that was all me.
You put your admin head on, and it worked. It's great.
But I can't go in front of a tribunal for this. Yes,
it's good to have some legal protection, though, isn't it? Everything being fact checked and proofread. Anyway, before we move on to who's here, how are you both? How's everyone doing?
I'm great, mate.
Yeah,
honestly, I'm really good. I'm really good.
Quick check: is Ken's mic okay?
Yeah,
it sounds better. It sounds better, doesn't it?
Yeah, it should be. I uninstalled the bloatware software that came with it, and now I've set it up manually. So, tell me if it's okay.
It seems to be fine from this end, anyway.
Yep. All right for you, mine, is it?
I unfortunately can still hear you as loud and clearly as ever.
Fantastic.
Right, let's see who has wumbled along to the podcast this Monday. So we've got Tim, we've got Bill, Harpham, Shakos and Sprues, David Baker, Lionheart, Laser Pirate Painting, Rich M, Seven Son. Oh, I thought the name sounded familiar. Evil Jim Reaper, Jim is here. Carl Burks, Enemy in Sight, me, Chris Richards, East Norfolks, Andrew JF, Bicker City, Red Steph. There's some football chat going on in the comments as well.
Don't. I'll yellow card you. No, that crap
John Carter, Ham and Jam, Jim Friday, Meza is here, Benjamin, Gary Phillips, Robin, Robin needs to explain this to us, mate. He's stuck in traffic on the way home from IKEA.
Oh,
You've been picking up Billy bookcases.
Hey, he's a superstar. Robin's the first superstar of the night.
What, for going to IKEA?
Yeah, damn right. He's a good man.
Who else we got? Luke SD, Grana Prego, Shrink 7, Lee Gardner, Jeremy Brooks. Good evening from a cold Canada. But yeah, I thought it was cold here today. I can't imagine what it's like being in Canada. It was definitely grim up north today. Jeez, it was very, very, very cold this morning. Oh, there's one for Stuart. Stuart Walters, first time on the podcast live.
Hello.
Cheers, Stuart.
Hello, Stuart. Thanks very much. Great to have you here, buddy.
We have the Stoic Steve, friends of General Haig, Louis Baby, Marky Sparky, Steve Harbour, Mark Wright, P. Neal, Josh, Kev Mitchell, Enemy in Sight, Rich M, Luke, Rogue Trooper, Rogers Company, Imaginary Conflicts, my God, Osmozzy, Philip Hyman, Anthony, John Chrome, I'm losing count here, Carla's here, Ray 13, Old School FRP, Ben Lowry, oh, hello from Tennessee, USA. Tell you what, we're racking up the countries as the weeks go by.
I know. I just saw the comment of saying, we need to do the world map. I'll get on it. I was looking at a.
We're becoming internationally famous.
Or infamous might be.
Infamous, I think.
I've got warrants out for me in 7 countries now.
Yeah, that might apply. I think
definitely a certain American states.
Yes.
Yes. We shall explain all in a bit, but yes, I definitely have a warrant out for me.
Andy P. What else we got here? Oh, do you know what? The first English speaker getting my surname almost right. Oh well, I do try. Cheers, Philip. That's great.
Oh shit!
And apparently, Meza is in Narnia.
I thought you meant like. I thought you were going to say
no. She's just in a wardrobe.
Like
he's just watching on his phone in a wardrobe.
I think he's been sat too near the toilet duct. Personally, we've got another one. Ballpipe, greetings from El Paso. Been lurking for a while and love your show. Cheers, buddy.
Brilliant.
That's really, really good.
Hello?
I can't imagine it's very cold in Texas though. I can imagine it's quite hot there at the moment. Ricky Turner, we've got Welsh Wargamer, John City. Feel free to come hide out in New Mexico.
Yeah, sounds good.
There's an invite for you, Ken. Yeah, you're gonna be harbored like some kind of wanted fugitive for crimes against historical wargaming. Now there's a topic for a show.
Oh yeah, crimes against historical wargaming. That is a really good idea, Steve.
I will be on that one because I like my health and safety being intact at the end of it. I wouldn't want to be hunted down and butchered by someone dressed as a hussar or something. That sounds like an episode of Columbo.
Yeah.
I love General Haig's comment here. Let Carl push past the ferry coats, but don't accept Turkish delight from anybody.
Don't accept the Turkish delight, Carl.
Turkish delight.
I hate Turkish delight with a passion.
Really?
Why? Yes.
Why?
Tastes like absolute guff.
You drink Blue Wicked?
Yeah, it tastes nice.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. It tastes like liquid sugar. And looks like Drano. But slightly better.
Don't piss Steve off when it comes to his fucking nice food he likes. No, don't even go there, mate.
Slightly better than Carling, though. That's just my own personal preference. Right, so as the intro's out the way, we've insulted Ken's drinking habits.
Is that the portion of the evening done? Is it?
Yeah, everyone can go now. We're done. No, so I'll briefly touch on the theme for tonight, which is "What's your game?" Which isn't but it sounds like a British threat, that doesn't it?
Yes,
it
does. What's your game, son?
Yeah, it's normally followed by a Doc Martin to the temple.
or a round on like blankety blank or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
I know which one I prefer. It's not blankety blank either. So what's your game? So we're going to be talking about game sizes, game types. Are you a big game player? Are you a skirmish? Do you solo games? Do you like card games? Do you like board games? Just games in general. And so what we're looking for is some recommendations as well. But that is all coming later on in the show. So let's see.
Why don't we get them to while we're having our little chat then, to see if people head over to the Facebook group and put their recommendations over there.
Great idea.
Or in the chat.
Or in the chat.
Or in the chat.
But we get people to join the group, Martin. That's the whole point.
No, but they're going to go over there, have to answer Dom's questions free, and then we have to approve it. They're going to go, nah, bugger this. So, by the way, the Facebook group, we're very, very close to 400 members.
Yes. We need 25 more. So, so whatever your choice is, leave comments about your favorite games or systems or sizes, or you can head over to the Facebook group, join, and leave them there.
Yes.
Right. I'm going to ask now. I've been dreading this all day. So, Ken.
Do you want to go with Martin first?
No, go with Ken first. Go with Ken first. Just go with Ken first.
Here's where my channel gets nuked by YouTube. Ken,
hello,
what have you been up to?
Oh, not very much this week, Steve.
Good, Martin. What have you been up to, mate?
I've been watching the fallout from Ken.
Have you?
Every day I go onto Facebook and go, I wonder what's happened now.
Yeah, I might have been painting some of these. So yeah, my French, they're getting done, which is awesome. So yeah, so apparently I'm a shill, a warlord fanboy, which I thoroughly replied to saying, no, I'm not a shill or a warlord fanboy.
Can we just point out that it wasn't any of us that said that?
No.
We wouldn't be anywhere near so polite.
No. I was called a shield, a warlord fanboy. And apparently I make commercial gains, and I broke trading standards and advertisement this week by posting a link to a video on the Napoleon War Game Facebook group, which was really handy. Yes. So I kind of blew up the internet.
Facebook was hanging by a thread. The fallout was immense.
Yes, but my replies, I think, were very cunning and witty.
I think, given the type of argument that you were dealing with, your replies would have probably infuriated those people to the point where they couldn't. Because you basically just didn't engage with them and just basically started.
I just called him
waffling.
Bill.
You just called him Bill.
I just kept going. You're right, Bill. Cheers, mate. Cheers, Bill. Yeah, and
so Ken, how did you find painting them then?
They were really good, Steve. They're very easy. They are very easy, and I was dreading actually having to do the actual proper campaign dress. So let me get them up now. So I was dreading doing those, but I don't dread doing those. They were really easy.
They look very, very nice.
Yeah, I could definitely. I think I went a bit. I needed to be a bit more detailing around the faces, so I rushed it a little bit.
No, Ken,
I'll tell you what, they have. Oh, sorry, go on, Steve.
I was going to say they're 13 mil, and there's going to be 4,500.
Yeah, I know there is, but it's gonna annoy me.
But are they 13 or are they? What was it?
13.5. They're 13.5 mil.
No. There's the crux of the argument. Basically, let me just say. Someone wanted Ken to basically, because in his video he didn't actually sit there with a tape measure and measure them. That was some kind of cardinal thing that infuriated them. And then when he sort of pointed out that it could probably be used well with 15 mil, as long as you're not like putting them right next to each other, that kind of kicks it off even more. The example that was then used back to him was, you can use 15 mil or you can use AB. Ken then pointed out that AB was 18 mil,
and then nothing happened.
And then nothing happened. So
I won.
And then we got this. He got this random sort of reply saying everyone knows that when you talk about 15 mil, you actually mean 15 to 18 mil. So Ken responded to that by saying, well, in that case, then 12.5 mil and 15 should go great because there's less difference.
I'm through the internet. Oh, it's great. but no, it was just I don't know. It was quite funny being called a Warlord fanboy. I thought they've never watched the Plastic Crap podcast, have they? Being one, and two, I'm very much a Perry fanboy. Everyone should know this.
Well, you are.
Yes,
very much so.
Who isn't a Perry fanboy?
How's your Perry tattoo?
Oh, it's great. One on each cheek. Michael on one, Alan on the other. It's great.
So what I was going to say about that frame, and something I noticed is the I wasn't too, now they're painted. I can see I think I probably just didn't pay too much attention on the sort of official pitch. The muskets, I was worried look chunky, but they really don't.
No, they're not. They're not.
I thought they look.
They're not. They're actually really nice. They look even better when they're not like taken on a 104 megapixel bloody camera. And you look at them for a good, because this is quite zoomed in and you can see a lot of detail where I've messed up with paint job. It's like the fourth guy on the right's really annoying me because I went too heavy with his flesh. I need to put a tiny bit of wash in his eye because it's just really annoying me. And then you look at Stuart's, and then I cry.
They were a bit
awesome.
Well, they were
next level. Dear God,
I can't imagine painting like. Man, I can't even imagine painting them. Let's be honest, but I can't imagine being able to paint loads.
They're not. These are actually a pleasure to paint, which is really strange because I never thought I would say that again about Napoleonics. But these really are a piece of piss. But I will say one thing: when I do my guides for them, I've at first I covered the whole front of the chest of the uniform in blue, just with the ultramarine contrast paint. That's what's even funny. It's even though I used the blue ultramarine colour or whatever it is. Ultramarine's blue.
Oh,
and the friendship goes really well. But then trying to define the two different whites because what you want is you've obviously got the white. I don't know what that bit's in the middle is called. What is that called? On the campaign dress, the white bit in the middle.
Oh, the thing here.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but whatever that is, and then you got the straps, but you want the two to be a different like density of white, so you want to put a wash, leave, and then just literally touch.
Can I please put up Bill's comment? Sorry, Ken, it's made me laugh. It's just made me laugh.
What you say to me as soon as 15 mil at the same trying to convince their girlfriends for it.
And there, I believe, is the final word on the matter.
Bill, see that? Bill stood up for me. There you go. Yeah, I don't even go there. But yes, it was a very unhappy. Very unhappy. But at the end of the day, they've left it alone now because it was really strange actually. Because here's another context for it, right? So I'm getting all this abuse, okay, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Matt Mail pops in and goes, "Oi, what you doing, mate? Why are you having a go at him?" And then Alan pops in the next comment, "What are you going on about, mate?" And it just feels like there's two bouncers stood behind me, like in a virtual experience. It's so strange.
This weekend has been utterly surreal, hasn't it? It's just been.
It has, and it's really opened my eyes because I didn't think because I obviously when I did 28 mil Napoleonics, people weren't that bad. I've never had a reaction like that. But Jesus Christ, that was a reaction. You can understand why people get worried sometimes about doing Napoleonics.
I don't know. You had that one guy who was like who got really upset, and then we had a little look on his profile, didn't he? All the pictures were him and his horse in Napoleonic regalia. And then he went on to have a full on argument, and then quoted his own book. That was right. That was right.
See, and this is why I stick to sticking bits of roots on things.
Oh Christ! Can you imagine if Steve put up his Napoleonic root vegetables in that group?
It's a plastron.
Please do it, Steve. I will pay you.
No, I'm not joining any groups like that. I'm really not. I like my sanity intact.
I think you can just add him in. I think you can just add him in because you can do that recommend. You can do that recommend thing, and he'll just end up in there.
And then just tag him in the post. Oh dear!
Imagine that. So, Steve, painting any Napoleonics this weekend? Oh, absolutely! Check these boys out. Yes.
I would pay to see that.
I reckon within about 4 seconds, I'd hear the sabers being sharpened from here.
Yeah, I know, man.
To impart some unpleasantness upon me.
Do Do you know the one really nice thing about all this is just nice how nice our community is, which is really good.
What's that? The plastic crack? Yeah, it is. If you,
I know lots of people have said that they know they can post in there, and nobody goes judging. Out the way. No, there's no judging, and nobody goes out the way to be a complete cretin. Everyone's just really nice and supportive and grown up with it.
Yeah, exactly. But I just had enough. Do you know when you think to yourself about being quite moderate as a person and think, I'm going to be the bigger person here. I'm meant to be the YouTuber, and I just thought, nah, fuck it. I'm going to be the child.
So yes, Rogue Trooper. I did use the word sanity and roots on figures. It is. It's a very sane way.
Of
modeling.
It's but it's there's no restriction, is there? You let your creativity go. Creative, like, what can I come up with? And it's just quite.
Innit?
There's no right or wrong. Really.
It's completely 100% miniature agnostic. So you could use. In fact, I'm a member of a group. It's the Grim Dark Historical Miniatures group on Facebook. Jim recommended it to me. Yeah, and some of the stuff people post on there is absolutely mind blowing.
Dude, I just thought of a really cool one. The Perry ambulance that you get for the Napoleonics, doing that. That would be really cool if you did the ambulance, like all the root vegetables growing out the back, and
taking that on from there. That model comes with a surgeon amputating a leg. What if you did your leg being amputated? But it was like a carrot, and they were putting the stuff into a casserole dish next to this.
That would be so cool.
Ken, you're not interested, mate?
Yeah, of course I am, but I'm not an idiot. I've got like 50 million sprues of these to paint. So yeah,
he's too busy. He's too busy upsetting people.
He's too busy.
On another continent.
He's too busy breaking the internet.
Yes.
So moving along, Martin, what have you been up to?
I've done stuff. I have done stuff. So I have. First of all, I finished another 2 bases of Crusaders. So more Victrix Normans done up with Crusaders, and I do like these models. These are great fun to paint, and I've kind of got it down to just got a bit of system
now, yeah.
Well, because I paint all this, because I use contrast and I do all the straps and everything first, and then I do the chainmail afterwards. And I know it sounds weird because the chainmail is obviously the bigged area, but it actually speeds things up.
Yeah,
absolutely. So a lot of fun with those. A bit of a close up on the bases. So what I've done again is I've mixed the shields from the Crusader packs and the standard Norman packs as well. Just keep things interesting, really. And where's the other one? There it is. I really, really like that helmet in the middle. They found one a long time, quite a while ago, like that, where it's got like the face plate. And I think that's probably my favourite shield design that I've done so far. But I weather them up a little bit more than they are already, just to kind of get that dusty effect. Of course, big red bat bases.
Let me guess, you use Decktown to weather it.
Nope. No, Decktown doesn't work because they're desert based. So Decktown doesn't work. So I have a different color now, which will come forward when I do a painting video. But I don't cover them from head to foot, only certain areas. But yeah, they were a lot of fun to paint. I'm currently sticking together some Seljuk Turks. I'm doing an archer unit. So I'm trying to do 1 unit of Crusaders and then 1 unit of Seljuks, and then I'll have 2 small armies at about the same time, so I can start putting battle reports out a bit quicker.
Oh, sweet.
To do that. Philip says he's hovering over the purchase button on those Normans since my crack dealer has a sale. Just do it. Just do it. They are awesome. I mean, there's a lot, don't get me wrong, there's a lot, like in most Victrix sprues, I find you've got to do a bit of searching. It's not like you can just sit there and put them. I tried doing them while we were doing the stream with Simon Miller, and I stuck all sorts of wrong arms. Yeah, all sorts of wrong arms and that. But while these were drying, I worked on some little miniatures, some little ones. Now I'm probably going to get crucified, but I don't know if I can be for painters. I don't know if there's any wrong colours for these. So, what do you think of these?
Yay!
Yeah, no, you can't have purple with red.
I had great fun doing these. I only bought this pack to see if I'd enjoy it, and then I painted 10 in the time that my bases were drying. They're so much fun. So
you could
much
do
fun
that as
to
your
do.
hob. You could do that as your filler gap thing when you're
it is
stuff to dry.
Yeah, look at that. So there you go. There's just 10 of them. Landschnecks from Blue Moon. I think they're 15. They might be closer to 18. I don't really know or particularly care. I thought they were just lovely little models, and the detail on like the beards and the faces is just fantastic.
That's the best small scale facial hair I've seen in a while. And I've never said that before.
That's they were great, absolute great fun. So I think what I'm going to do, because I bought them just to see if this is a potential project, and I think the answer is yes. Considering they're quite fun and easy to knock out. And the way I did them is I just had them on. I got this bit of cork here with just nails in it, and I just had them rotating on it. So when I got a red out, I just pick one of them, put some red on it, and then next time I had a blue out, just put some blue. And as I was painting my Normans, and as I was waiting for it, they were basically done because I was just adding them as they went. So they were great fun. So, and then the flag was from the flag. Is it Flag Dude? I picked that up at Salute, but I know that Pete's Flags that has loads of 15mm Italian Wars flags. So yeah, I think that might have to be a thing. So I was thinking putting 15 on that base, and then that'll still leave a little bit of room at the front. So there's just a little bit of basing grass at the front that I can put like something on. What do you reckon?
I think 15 with them ranked up together, that would look proper Italian Wars, wouldn't it?
I'm gonna try and they're only on there with blue tack in a minute, but I'm gonna try and space them a little bit so that you can see the one behind, like between the gaps, just to keep things interesting. But and those pikes are bristles. They're the brush bristles. Miller pointed out how to do it, and
really good idea.
They were great fun. And then I painted something else. I finished off, and we have for Dead Man's Hand, we have Mr. Roy Magnum. Definitely
Roy Magnum.
He's absolute awesome model, special character. He's got the buffalo rifle, and he is a ridiculously good shot with it. So I'm hoping that means I'll start to win some games if I use them. So yeah, that's so Roy Magnum. But that was into my painting. But I also had a game this week as well against young Robin, who is in IKEA at the moment. So Robin came round, and we had a Wars of the Roses.
Very nice.
Game. And that's one flank. That is my Calais veterans on the right, and his Lord Burners on the left, fighting over some hovel somewhere in East Anglia. So we did a little bit of a narrative game, and yeah, we had a brilliant time. It was one of those games went back and forth a lot. There is a battle report, which hopefully will be out at the end of the week. That's one of the high points of the battle, where the units finally crashed into each other. But it was one of those games where, excuse me, because it was much more objective based. Close combat didn't really happen until sort of the second half of the game. There was a lot of manoeuvring and getting into positions when we moved on to the board. But when it did, God, it was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. That was always good fun.
I forgot to mention as well.
What?
I might have taken the trains back and decided to go up a scale. I
thought you weren't doing that scale.
No, I've changed my mind. I've found the beat.
You changed your mind? Really?
Yeah, I know. Wow. Laura said this as well. She went, "Ken, you're fucking useless," and I went, "Yep, I am." But yes, I bought a new train. And I've also got some trains coming for a Christmas present. So yes, I'm very happy.
Awesome. Can you realise scaling up also means more expensive?
Yes. Actually, it doesn't with Double O. It means cheaper, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah. It's actually cheaper.
When we were in that train shop before CrackCon. I fair shat myself in there.
I just got told. Well, I'm not sure I want to be a member of this club.
Cod Club.
The Cod Piece Club. Is that like Matt? Would that be the perfect name if you owned a club in Soho or something?
That would be a good
Cod Piece.
It's the really niche version of Fight Club. You just don't talk about it to anyone. I've decided if I do change my name by default, it's going to be to Roy Magnum. I like that name.
It's Roy Magnum. It's cool, isn't it? I just got asked how many bases per unit. I assume you mean the Landschnecks. I'm good. I was thinking again of doing 3 because 3 bases for pike each shot at, and it seems to work. So I'll have 2 wings of complete pikes like that, and then the center one I'll have to command more flags, and then maybe guys with pikes at rest or some arquebusiers or something like that. So, but I'm just going to I'll just build up. I think I'm going to build it in bases rather than units and just keep on making them. I made the mistake of going through their catalog online, and there's some really nice. The what do you call them? The gendarmes that are on there are stunning. Nice. Stunning. And I know that's cavalry, but yeah, they look wicked. And I've just had this is one of Robin's friends. He's good friends with Robin, who played me, and he's a wargaming magpie. Before we finished the project, he's telling me the next set of rules. He lent me 2 sets of rules as well. He left 2 sets of rules here for me to read. So I've already read one. It was great fun. So it's good to know.
That... No, not O Group.
No, it was Bloody Barons. No, it was Bloody Barons, and which is one I've read, and then a Japanese one which I have forgotten. So
Robin did do Battle Group though, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. That was a fantastic looking game he had as well. It really did look. The dog softies. It looked so nice.
The dog
softies. You can say shit, fuck, and all that, but you can't say bollocks. That's just
mutts. No. It looked like the mutts nuts.
The mutts nuts. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So nothing much. Well, I have been. Have you ever had one of those weeks
where you sorry, Steve.
Finish anything?
You didn't finish anything this week.
No. So I've been working on things. So I'm currently working on some more of my bolt action British in Burma, all the bees. Because people have been asking me when am I next going to paint them. I love doing these. The only problem is they're just dull to paint. They're so boring. And you've got
Landschnecks if you want to be vibrant.
Well,
yeah.
Well, like these ones here, I restarted my Landschnecks again. So I've been painting up some Zweihanders. Nice. I'm also working on a very small commission. Some dead man's hand. It's not. No,
we got a commission painter on the channel. Look at this.
No, I'm not doing it for money. I've bartered. It's fun. My mate's girlfriend. She likes westerns, and they want to start playing Dead Man's Hand together. So I'm painting up her gang for her. It's going to be ready in time for Christmas, hopefully.
What gang? Sorry, I'm Pete. Which gang? Any gang in particular? Ooh, okay. Trixie.
And what else? That was about it. But my new project starts tomorrow when it all arrives. I'm very much looking forward to it.
Steve,
yes.
Can we root up? I know you use bits of them already, but could we root up the Cowboys for a Dead Man's Hand game? Tumbleweeds. Tumbleweeds. Mutant little tumbleweeds growing around.
Oh, can you imagine that? Dead man's turnip.
You got a winner there.
But Dead Man's Turnip. Yeah, that's
I think you should go to Stuart at Great Escape and say, "I've got a plan for your next book."
He'd be like, "Yeah, here's the course.
Can we get Jim a superstar?
Root and toot and go."
Amazing.
But no, I honestly think you could turnip up anything.
With you, Steve, that wouldn't surprise me.
Like, imagine combining an episode of Rainbow with Turnip 28. How cool would that be?
Fucking hell.
Be terrifying.
Roots and stuff growing out of Zippy.
Oh, Bongo, what's this coming out of you? Jeffrey.
I think we've taken a decidedly strange turn going.
Oh, I don't know. I think I'm just in a
anyway,
funny mood. Dom's not here to keep us in check.
No. But it looks like you've both had productive weeks. A bit more productive than mine.
Yeah.
I plan on. In fact, I'm going to talk about my new project later on when we get to we're going to get to the topic now. But my new project is completely skirmish based.
I'm excited by your new project.
So am I. I've been putting this off for ages. But I've been watching videos over the weekend, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to take the plunge. So I bought those that today. It's all arriving tomorrow. And it's been a couple of days painting it and see what happens. Which is a nice segue into tonight's topic, which is what's your game? But said in a non-threatening, non-violent, pint glass in the face type of thing. No, and again, I've mentioned it to Ken before. This was inspired by last week when we were talking about what were we talking about? Oh, wargaming heritage. So going back, and Ken mentioned about a middle-sized game. So not a big game, but not a skirmish game. It got me thinking. And then later on in the week, I was talking to my mate about the Silver Bayonet, and we had a conversation that we both noticed. There's a lot of skirmish games coming out, isn't there?
There's a shitload.
Yeah.
And so I don't mean to steal Ken's controversial tag here, but what? Okay, you guys both play big battle systems.
Yeah,
I would say so.
Are they going to be maintained moving forward, or is it going to be more skirmish-based games?
There is definitely a move towards skirmish, and that's just the way I know things are at the minute. I think people just in their lives, people are busier. People do still want to play mass battle games.
Yeah,
they just don't have the time, and there has been an explosion now. I think a really good way to highlight this is the new edition of By Fire and Sword, right? So they did a video where they said the old edition, which is this massive book over here, which I love, and it's a big mass battle game. They are writing the second edition, and in the 10 years, and this is what he said in the video, in the 10 years since they put that out, wargaming has changed. They've seen it change. So their next edition isn't simply going to be, they change a few rules here. No, they're completely overhauling it, because wargaming over the last 10 years has changed, and there has been a push towards more skirmish gaming, the more kind of unit, I go, you go, rather than I move my whole army, you move your whole army. But I don't know how much that's a result of, say, club gaming, because we skirmish game during the week and then big game at the weekend, if that makes sense, if we still had all the time in the world.
So do you think it's, and you alluded to it, it's simply a quicker entry into into rolling dice?
You can paint it up quicker, can't you, Mine? You can paint it up quicker. You can get the game, and guess what? It keeps people having to buy more models. And it stops people being disheartened. So if you hook them into your rule system, then you'll bring out another rule book. So they're going to buy that next rule book that maybe at 30 quid a pop, and then they'll buy the next rule book, and they'll buy the next rule book, and they'll buy the next one. And
that's and they'll build a big collection. I think people want to be able to start gaming straight away, and absolutely sometimes people don't want to go, I really fancy painting some Napoleonics, but I don't want to paint 5,000 of either 28 mil, 12 mil, 18 mil, 2 whatever. But Silver Bayonet, well, that's kind of, we can, I like the horror theme, I can just paint up 12. And I know that they can still do that for games like, is it Chosen Men, the Osprey one? But because I saw people going on about sharp practice, and they were still like, no, sharp practice, loads of models, and that was one, some people still consider that large. Some people consider Saga large, and that's like 30 sometimes. So I think there's definitely a push towards that, but also more narrative play as well, like campaign play. Especially in games, I've noticed that a lot. A lot of games now come through with sort of experience systems.
I think that's a big thing. I mean, I picked up Zona Alpha last year, which is a sort of small 6-7 aside, a post-apocalyptic skirmish game. Again, miniature agnostic, choose what you want. But then again, that's geared around progression. Every time you go into the zone, you take your gang, and who's going to be coming back. You're getting loot, you're getting progression, experience, injuries. I think that, like you said, that's a staple of many skirmish games that are coming out now. Is that they're based around a campaign system, and and they're more narrative than sort of like say you go, I go, and just have a straight battle. Well, here's an interesting question from Carl. So pop quiz. I got worried when he said pop quiz. How many figures make a big battle game? Ancients to Black Powder, he would say 200 plus.
Ooh, I'd say anything over 50 nowadays. Personally, I'd say anything over 50. Really, 50 aside at max.
Yeah, I mean, if you, I don't know. Would you consider those two brigades aside games of Black Powder I had big battle? I guess some people would, wouldn't they? Big battle because there's still. So that's hang on, that's 20, 40, 60. That's about 250 models aside.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's still a big battle. Yeah, it's still a big. It's still a I'd say that's a big game, certainly for a lot of people. Yeah.
I would say for new war gamers, that's a big game. I would say for people who are the old guard of wargaming who's been around for a long time, obviously that's not a big game, is it? It depends on your take on it. If you're new to the hobby and you've come from Necromunda, you've come from Blood Bowl, you've come from even Kill Team at 40k stuff, you hit historical bolt action even, might seem like a big game to you. Because you could get 30 figures aside plus tanks, or you can double up, can't you? Or if you go Russians, you can have 60 figures. And that might seem like a lot to some people, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but some games, 60 figures. So imagine 60 figures aside in Black Powder. Would that be minuscule?
No, well, it depends, because you can play Black Powder with, if you really wanted to, you could play it with 8 figures a battalion. I know, me and Jonathan were going to do it this weekend, or this Friday, but I can't now. Sadly, I can't make it. But we were going to do it like that, so you could play a big battle game with 8 models aside. At the end of the day, the models are only there to represent an actual unit, aren't they?
Yeah,
you could use bits of paper if you wanted to. Just doesn't look as nice.
There you go. It's a bit of, I know Ken likes his controversy. There's some controversy from Rogue Trooper. He likes playing skirmish games, but never really considered them a war game because they're too small. Ooh.
What definition? What's your definition of a war game then? Because war is surely war, no matter where you. Yeah, that is a controversial question.
It is. I mean,
I would say war is war at any scale. If you got a unit of SS in a building and there's a platoon of Americans going to clear them out, that's a war.
Well, what about something like Axis Allies, a board game? It's about war.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a war game. 100%. Anything that involves conflict, I think. Anything that's conflict and where one side is fighting another, I would say.
Any game that involves conflict, Monopoly. Normally, when I play,
anyway. Yeah. But do you know what I mean? The definition of war, isn't it? Is two nations. It normally has to do with nations, doesn't it? Fighting each other. Well, technically no, because the 100 Days campaign wasn't technically against two nations, was it? Because they declared war on Napoleon, not France. So look at that history. Jesus Christ, you got history from me. Technically, no, I'm wrong there. So, interesting.
Let's go point from Paul. So you can have small units, but loads of them, or few units with a shed load of minis per unit. I mean, I think Martin, that sounds like Kings of War, doesn't it?
Yeah. Basically, I would consider Kings of War a mass battle game, but it takes less time than some skirmish games. We play full big battles in an hour and a half. Easy. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, me and I played with Alec down the club Friday. And we played Epic, Steve. We had a game of Epic.
Oh, right.
Really well, actually. Really enjoyed it. 2nd edition Space Marine we played. And since I've only played 2 games before, I had to look in the rule book once because I remember how to play. And we just followed the charts, and we were both done. We had, I think it was a 2,500 point game. We were done within 2 hours. Cheers, mate. Smash away.
Oh, sorry.
Give me him. He just destroyed everyone's ears.
I think you already did that when you were talking, but okay.
So if you had to see your own personal preference, because the reason I've been reevaluating the hobby from my own perspective.
Yeah, man.
And I honestly think I'm moving away from bigger games.
See, I'm doing the opposite. I'm doing the opposite. I'm going towards them.
I told you that time when me and my mate we played at a 3,000 point bolt action game, and
yeah, never again.
Never again.
You do that one unless you follow the rule that it says in the book, Steve. There's an optional rule that says only use 13 dice no matter how many units you have.
I wish we'd have done that because it was an absolute grind. It really was.
It does turn into a grind. After about 14, 15 dice, it turns into an absolute grind.
Yeah. So what I'm looking at is that I'm still going to be doing bolt action, but I'm only going to be just making between sort of 15, 2,000 point armies.
So that's still big to me, man. I think 750 is good. I love playing 750.
See, we normally play 1,000. So what I like to do is build a list between say 1,500 and 2,000. Just so I've got a few other options.
You got options, yeah,
and then leave it. But then I was just thinking about all the cool skirmish level games that I'd like to play, and
Operation Squad being one of them.
Operation Squad.
That is an awesome game.
Having picked up the Silver Bayonet, I'm really interested in that. Again, that's really small scale as well. Burrows and Badgers.
Yeah.
Again, really small scale.
I might have asked Laura for some of that for Christmas. I just think it's pretty cool. It's like, I love a warband of it, I think.
They're lovely to paint. They really are. They're cracking figures. But again, what I'm doing now is
Ken takes efforts in a glove and Dom leaves the country. Coincidence.
It's definitely a coincidence, Jim. It's definitely a coincidence. Yes. Is Dom coming back next week or what?
No, it's his week, so I hope so, isn't it?
I hope so. So what I'm going to be doing is largely concentrating now on small skirmish games that I can paint relatively quickly, but I can take my time over. And that I can play on a 3x3 or a 4x4 board. That's going to be, excuse me, moving forward, what I'm going to be aiming for. So I'm not going to be doing big mass battles, big mass games, which is why new project Judge Dredd, which I'm looking forward to immensely. Has Ken muted himself?
I am the law.
I wish you had.
Yeah, but I know what Judge Dredd is because it's freaking awesome. See, I know what good things are.
The film with Sylvester Stallone isn't awesome. That was terrible. It's not. Oh God. Oh. But no. So I don't know. He might be. He could be serious.
I like that film, man. It's all right. It's like a piss
the one with
take,
Stallone.
The one with Stallone.
Yeah, it's like
it weren't meant to be a piss take.
No.
Dear.
The one with Carl Urban is just so much better. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to be doing. My project for the next sort of 2 or 3 months is I'm going to be painting up and building up Judge Dredd, gangs of judges and block gangs and all the other weirdness that comes with it. I think I'm going to have a lot of fun doing that. It's going to be. I've been putting it off for a while. As soon as I've got and I play Strontium Dog. And the rules they're more or less the same for Judge Dredd. A few subtle changes.
It makes me think of like Necromunda a little bit. Yeah, kind of like that.
I'd play. Me and Martin were talking the other week about it. About Necromunda is a fantastic game and a fantastic range.
Man.
I think I'd love to play that again.
I think the early rules of Necromunda as well, and the earlier editions as well.
Oh yeah, the one I played in sort of 92, 98, just such a good game. And the one before that, Confrontation, you can still find that as a PDF on the internet. If you want to play a really, really strange skirmish game, Confrontation is one you should check out. It's absolutely bizarre.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, what would I forgot what I was going to ask. I forgot. Dredd. Yeah. What's the? Is it based on any of the others? Because it's Warlord, isn't it?
It's Warlord. Yes.
So is it do you pull dice out of bag like bolt action?
Yes.
Or...
So for every figure, every miniature has a chit, goes into a bag, draw. It's a bit like bolt action, so it's like I go, you go. But there's a cool mechanic for really cool special characters. So they have if they draw a one of their chits with a star on it, they can activate, but then they can take a cool test, and if they pass, the chit goes back in the bag.
That's quite cool.
So you can have really strong special characters activating 3, 4, 5 times a turn.
That's cool.
Which belies that. So apparently, Dread is virtually untouchable.
I can imagine.
But yeah, it's more or less it's token driven. So like bolt action, so chits out of a bag. It's fast paced. It's very very comic book feel. The Strontium Dog version is anyway. But that's what appeals to me now. Is the skirmish side of things.
Yeah. The best part is though, Steve, that could change in 2 years' time, and then you might go back into your mass battles, which I really like.
It could do. I just think. I mean, I've played bolt action for years, which is sort of my mass battle game. It's big enough that you can 2 or 3 hours of gameplay, a couple of months spent on each project. But with skirmish, I want to get them right to the table straight away.
Yeah. Do you know something? Maybe we're going wrong as wargamers, and this could be a whole different topic.
No,
maybe we're looking at it wrong. Maybe we shouldn't look at it as skirmish and mass battle games. You know what we should look at is time to play, length of game. So, however long it takes, whether you need a lot of figures or you need, a small amount of figures. Maybe we should look at it like in that sort of aspect instead.
Yeah.
See, that's what I liked about when I played X-Wing. Our X-Wing games used to last a maximum of an hour.
Yeah.
And then it was very rare that ships would last an hour because you get blasted to pieces. But as soon as it got to 60 minutes, we'd stop.
Yeah.
So that was a good. So if we had a Sunday afternoon, we could say, well, we're going to get 3 or 4 games in easily. But you can't really tell that with a sort of a mass figure game on the tabletop.
Well, so
you can if you time it.
So where do we stand then? Because you mentioned it in the description, and I know you know what I'm going to talk about now. And I know you're a previous player of them. I know Paul enjoys them in the comments, and I know Ken wants to play them. So where do you stand with role-playing games? Because obviously with those, there are some games that use, figures. They're all still part of it as much as board games. Now, I mean, I don't consider them a war game, although I have run games where they are commanders in an army, and I watch my players slowly lose, which is always great fun. But I think I read in the comments on Facebook, that there's quite a few D&D players of war gamers as well. What do you reckon? Is RPGs another way of getting that hobby release as well?
Oh, yeah.
I think RPGs absolutely, and I don't know whether for me it was just having that one character that was mine, and I could run it any way that I wanted to. I think that was a big sort of plus for me. I've not played any RPGs in years, but that was always a big plus for me. That it was that personal element to it.
Yeah,
it was my character, and I was going to be on the receiving end of some sadistic DM for most of the time.
Normally, it would have been someone like mine.
The only reason I'm the DM or the gym is because no one else can be bothered to write anything. That's why I keep on begging the people I play with to hurry just to write something or do anything. I'll play, I'll buy a ready-made one and I'll do it. But no. But no, you're right. But see, to me, it's all part of it expands on the hobby we've already got, and that's why you can see those RPG elements now making their way into skirmish games, and you had them anyway. There are loads of games that had that. But you know, especially with things like Frostgrave, Silverbane, these even Operation Squad, they've all got experience systems, leveling systems now, which they've sort of looked at and borrowed, and so it's so interchangeable. Road Trooper does make a good point, which they take a long time to play. They do. Shall I show what I bought? I bought props. You asked for some recommendations, so I thought, well, everyone knows that these what these are. So
yeah,
I thought what I would do with hang on. Ow. Crap. Ow. So the 3 games, so I haven't played this for ages, right? But I know it's the most popular, and that's D&D.
Yeah.
Basically. And that's all you need to play. That Essentials kit, which has pretty much everything in it, and I bought this and I haven't played it yet. So
I'm still waiting for that game with you. I'm still waiting.
Well, next time you come down, we'll do it face to face. But 2 games, if people were gonna get into things, and because I like playing RPGs because I find them quite a release from war games. So I'm not thinking about things on a big tactical level. I'm just thinking about things from the point of view as a player. Like, what's my guy going to do next? Because I don't want him to die, and I don't care if my friends do. It's
some people might play it the opposite. Some people might play it the opposite. There. That's the
they do. That's cool. And if you've got one of those in your group, then that's brilliant because they'll look after you while you go rampaging around the dungeon or whatever it is, nicking stuff. Games that we're playing. And I highly recommend if people haven't heard of them, because we're recommending games, right? We're recommending systems, I think. So I'll recommend some RPGs. So D&D, if people want to try it, is an obvious one. This is what we are currently playing, Forbidden Lands, okay, which is a 70s, 80s inspired RPG, which is like playing Grand Theft Auto in a post-apocalyptic fantasy world, where the dungeon master doesn't have to really do any preparation because everything is generated from the book. So all he has to do is come up with a rough idea of where they're going, but because every game the players can move on a hex map where they want, they can go completely the wrong way. So all you have to have, you basically generate things in the game. And I know you'll like this, but the artwork is very sort of 80s inspired. Old style. I really, really recommend this game because it doesn't, especially if people are worried about time, because learning all the rules and that. Forbidden Lands, you don't have to. So someone can be the GM, they pick it up. There's one little bit you have to read them, obviously, read the rules and learn to play. But you can just get into it really, really quickly because the game generates the encounters and then you will react to that. This company also makes the Alien RPG, which has a complete one-shot mode for one evening of play because it's assumed you're going to die. And it's basically just how long can you last and how badass can you make your death. I
definitely agree with what Rogue said here. So the advantage, you can pick them up whenever you have the time. We back in the day we played a Star Wars one, and it lasted for months. It just went on, and it was really, really good.
Our D&D 3rd edition campaign, which then became a Pathfinder campaign when they split from it, lasted for 5.5 years. And only ended because we went to university and half of the players got girlfriends and didn't want to carry on playing anymore. So
that makes them bastards.
It does. What was funnier was that we carried on playing and then they came back because the campaign lasted longer than their relationships. So
there's a moral in there somewhere, isn't there?
Yeah.
D&D doesn't abandon you.
No, D&D. Well, some D&D abandoned me when 4th edition of it. Anyway, the other one which I would recommend, and this is because, and I think Steve's going to appreciate this, and that's this. And that's Conan. the Conan Modiphius book. It's a 2D20 system, and this is a bit more crunchy and a bit more gamey, but I love the system. And I was lucky enough to go to Dragon Meet in London and play with one of the convention in London and actually play with one of the creators. He was DMing the session. My guy got killed very, very quickly, but I really like the mechanic in it, and I've been trying to think of a way to introduce this into a war game, and it's a threat reward system, okay? And there's a lot of that in games, but basically you have your dice pool, yeah? You want to do something, hit an enemy, climb a ladder, I don't know, steal something, yeah? You roll 2d20, and then you pick the highest result from one of those. However, if you want to roll an extra d20, you put a threat token in the threat pool. The dungeon master, or in this case, I can't remember what he's called in this game, just call him the GM, he can then spend that threat to level up his enemies. Like if a dragon wants to breathe fire, it costs 10 threat. Yeah? But you can only activate that dragon's fire if the players have generated enough threat to use it. which is because but then you find some players are really, really conservative and they won't put any threat in, but then they can't ever do the big moves. They can't do like Conan punching out a camel, or they can't they can't do some crazy spell. The better you got to push your luck. But instead of there being sort of an immediate response, all it does, it gives the dungeon master just a little bit more threat that he can then use against the players at a later opportunity. And then what happens when the dungeon master uses it? It then converts to I can't remember what it's called. Let's call it virtue. Basically, tokens that they can then use back. So there's this constant tug of war going on, and it's just great fun. And I'm trying to think of a way to introduce that into a war game, like a actual threat tokens that you could generate. So say, I don't know, say you're playing a World War II game and you're
about a mechanic, a spot mechanic.
Yeah. You could, or anything like that, where you've got to sneak up the board. You generate a certain amount of threat, but then the opponent can, I don't know, use the threat to increase his likelihood that he's going to spot you, something like that. So I think what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of mechanics in both. And if people want to get into RPGs, then those are free games, D&D, and those ones that you should definitely.
So I imagine that threat mechanic, then I think that would conversely generate some sort of over the top gameplay. Like, people doing completely mad things.
It forces you to. Yeah, there is a limit. You can only spend 5, which means you'd roll 7d20 for a test. And also, if you pass it, it's going to be amazing. But at the same time, you've given the dungeon master 5 threat to spend on you, which is bad. Because what you can do is when you fail a roll, he can spend threat. So say you were just going to fall down. He can spend threat to like make you break your leg. or your neck.
Oh, that's quite cool.
So there's actually a forced way for him to use it.
Shrings just mentioned Middle Earth roleplay. That we played that years ago. I think I might have mentioned this before, but
that's what I want to really play.
There was a group of about 9 of us, and we're on this big quest. And my character kept falling out with everyone because I kept disagreeing with who was leading the war band. And so one night we stopped over at this tavern, and they'd had enough of me. They knocked me out and left me in the bed, and they went off to finish the rest of the quest. So when I thought, right, I'm gonna get my own back, I went and tried to convert some local tribe of orcs onto my my side. So I was going to go and hunt down my own warband. So I rocked up at their camp and said, right, take me as your leader. I'm gonna smite him and take you. He killed me in one round of combat. And that was the end of that. That's my memory of Middle Earth roleplay.
I have MERP. Actually, I think I might have sold it, or maybe I have. I've bought into Free League, the people who make Forbidden Lands. I've seen some comments in there, people saying Free League is great. They've now taken on the license for the One Ring, and I back that to the hilt because it's using the system. It's using, I think, the same system. As Forbidden Lands for it. So I believe it's due in a couple of months, and I've been geeking. I think I've been that, honestly. Yeah, it's they are great. They are great. And yes, I saw someone say. Did someone say Call of Cthulhu?
Yeah.
See, now Call of Cthulhu is a brilliant game. I just think it might be a little bit intense for new players. That's my only feeling, because the new players want to go in and kill some goblins and not have their mind flayed.
I was going to say, I can imagine Call of Cthulhu is just all about terrifying the players into complete gibbering insanity.
Yeah, and that's why I've got a game for you, which is Acton Cthulhu, which is you do it, but you just do it in World War II.
There you go. That sounds good.
God, two things right up my street. That the Cthulhu mythos and World War II, can't go wrong there.
That's it. Well, it sounds like then we can still go out on the lash, but a crack-on fueled RPG session after the wargaming is in order.
Yes.
What would be even better is if you could somehow then do an RPG. This is something we did try and do, is where you could do an RPG session where your characters are mustering the men. So, for example, you could do Lord of the Rings, and then you play out the battle using a system, and then you have your little people on there as figures. So
it's quite cool.
But yeah, so no, that's yours. That's my, if you want to get into something. And my very simple was, if you want to try a different type of skirmish game, or a very, very good skirmish game with a low model count, Bushido. the fantasy Asian
Martin,
inspired.
I can't go. I get a lot of my stuff from Goblin Gaming, and I can't go.
They always push that, don't they?
I can't go on to that without looking at Bushido. Every time I see the figures, I just think they look so nice.
Look, Matt, Monk riding a turtle. There you go. It's a great game. Brilliant combat mechanics.
You play it on a really small table as well, don't you?
2x2. So all of us who play it have made our own bespoke little boards. Because I played a Cult of Uri, which is an undead, but not quite undead. They're all wearing masks and they're like puppets. I made sort of like a wasteland, a farmland with loads of like decayed rice paddies and it actually, to be fair, it probably looked quite turnipy because it's all mud. But my friend who's playing what I could guess I would suggest are the traditional samurai, but they have like spirits and things with them. Like he's done like a amazing castle garden with like carp ponds and things like that. And then another guy's done like a temple. It's 2x2. And you can play it with 4 models. So we talk about skirmish gaming. 4 models. There's no leader either. There's no leader. You can buy whatever models you want. I mean, there are some that are basically more suited to leadership roles, but you could play the whole thing with, like, just basic grunts if you wanted.
That's what appeals to me is that table size 2x2. I mean, that is just that for me is the perfect skirmish size. I don't know what it is. It's just. But every time I go on that, I always check it out, and I just think, no, not yet. I probably will end up giving in one day, just buying a starter box. Because
have you seen the owl people?
There's
owl people. There's owl people now. Like there's a whole faction of like Tengu, birds, but they've kind of got a step further, so they're half owl. So they've got like they've got like these awesome owl heads on.
I want to paint some owls.
Hang on. Keep on talking.
No, that's right. I was going to say I could. I'll start your. Oh, he's found it.
Look. There's owls. Owl people.
Crazy. As soon as you said owl people, it dropped by 10.
Yeah. I noticed. I did see that when we started talking about RPGs, that Bill went seeing 10. So he's taken his. But no, I think it's to me it's all still they are all still related. My hobby, so many parts of my hobby kind of crisscross. So and also I have a lot of figures that I could use for. There's even I've even got a system where there's like a Napoleonic bloody thing in it, so I could use all them if I wanted.
Yeah,
it's just something I've. It's been the last time I did a role play game was probably the late to mid 90s. I don't think. Oh no, wait. I did one in the early 2000s. I think it was Warhammer Fantasy Battle. Okay, thinking of trains and fiddle yards. So okay, then. So what about
you?
What about you? Go on, Cam.
I've got 2. So people are going to love me for this. So Games Workshop, Blackstone Fortress.
That's controversial.
That's good. It's very good. So you've got your miniatures. So basically, you're basically a group of heroes that are going into a Blackstone Fortress, which, if you know anything about the 40k or 30k universe, was once a prison. Now they just wander in the abyss, realm of chaos. Where's
Dom? I'd love to see his face right now.
I know, it would be great.
I can just imagine it when he's listening to this when he comes back.
Yeah. So and you go into these Blackstone fortresses. It's basically you go in on a ship, but in the 30 and 40k universe, you've got all these different factions. So you've got humans, you've got elves, you've got chaos, you've got like robots and shit like that. But they normally fight each other, but apart from chaos, they all come together to like group together to defeat the Blackstone Fortress. So you go on quests, little mini quests every time, and you get harder and harder throughout you going along. And you can pick up, it's kind of like an RPG sort of element. You can pick up like weapons and like loot and stuff like that. But what you can do is you can fuck the other players over. So if you go in, say for example, you go into a mission, and the whole point of the mission is to take out this guy and take the stuff from the chest. Yeah, right. You get your own objectives on a card. So your objective might be get the stuff that's in the chest, and these are dealt randomly. And the other person's might be right. You got to get right through to the end of the dungeon. You could find the chest in the first room, and then just fuck off. And leave them stranded, and they're dead. And once they're dead, they're dead. That's it. There's like 20 levels, and once they're dead, that's it. That's them out of the game. They're gone. Bye.
Wow. It sounds like a more extreme version of Munchkin.
Yeah, but the cool thing is you can still do loads of painting and stuff like that, and you can paint your miniatures up.
I really want to play it. My friend has bought it.
I've done the whole thing. I did the whole thing.
I really want to play it.
I completed the whole thing. Did it with Liam.
What? Oh, I see. And it's because you play against the game, don't you? There's no one plays the Blackstone.
Yeah,
no one plays the Evil.
Someone can. Yeah, normally if someone dies. Yeah, so if somebody dies, like I before mentioned, they don't get another character. You're down to like 3 characters and stuff like that. So they can play Chaos basically.
Oh, okay. There's a lot of games at the minute, certainly board games, which are now moving towards a bad guy-less, GM-less system.
Yeah,
there's a lot of that. There's a couple of actually pen and paper RPGs that have got that now as well, where you are playing against the game. Kingdom Death, the big black box there, that's GM-less. You have a big stack of AI cards.
Yeah.
Do you think that's something we could see come into wargaming? For solo play, whereby
I hope so.
Be controlled by.
I hope so, because that means I can play more.
That's what Dark Souls, the board game, is. And that is quite honestly the most difficult. Not difficult to understand the rules,
just difficult to play.
Difficult to beat, because the whole thing's set up to kick your ass constantly.
Yeah.
But the mechanics are brilliant. I mean, I've mentioned it before, but the card-driven behavior.
Yeah.
So archers will take a step back. You move on nodes on the board. It'll move to the step away from the nearest character and fire, whereas other ones will run toward you and hit you with swords. But they automatically hit you. All you got to do is defend. And then you conquer 4 boards, you get all your upgrades, your loot. Then you go and take on the minor boss. Then you do it again and take on the major boss. Anyone that's played the Dark Souls video games will know what it's like having your ass kicked by those games.
I do.
I may be the world's worst Dark Souls player. I am absolutely bloody terrible at it. Which is why I play the board game, and I'm terrible at that as well. But the board game is lovely. The figures just look like old school.
The figures are really nice, aren't they?
Fantasy figures. I can't bring myself to paint them. I'd rather play with them just as plain grey plastic, because they've got that sort of old school look to them. Like I said, it's like playing a really old board game. Like Martin says, so I think there is a drive towards players playing against the game rather than against an opposition or a games master.
Definitely. Definitely. I mean, we've got a game called Myth. There's the Lord of the Rings one that's controlled by an app. You've got that, haven't you, Ken? You got that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's that. There's there's quite a few now. I've just forgotten them all, but there is quite a few.
Yeah. There's another one there. There's another game. It's like a board game, but you guys might have heard of it. Do you know, like you were mentioning Alien, it's called Nemesis?
Yeah. I nearly backed that.
I did. So I backed the second one. That's really good again, because it's basically aliens on a ship, and it changes every single time, so you can never really play the same game. Basically,
reminded me of Dead Space.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, you're on the ship, but it changes. The objectives change every time. There's loads of little bits to do. But again, your objective might be to screw the other people over, or it might be to put out all the fires on the ship. It could just be random. Make sure the ship doesn't get back. It's like that evil corporation sort of thing as well. So the corporation might want you to, sell the ship to Earth with a live alien on it on purpose.
Have you still got this?
Not that one. I've got this. Well, the second one I've backed. I just need to pay the postage on it, which is 25 quid, and I can't be asked. To be fair, Martin, if you want to pay the postage on it, you can have the game.
Don't say that.
I just can't be bothered. I paid like 60 quid for it, and I just can't be asked.
Oh man. There's a lot of love for Nemesis in the comments. This is Steve Harbour. Said, "Does anyone play Gloomhaven? Has anyone seen that game?"
Yes, I have.
That you Gloomhaven's brilliant, right? But you need to commit, man.
You need a live. You can't do anything else.
No. It's a wicked game, but you need to commit.
Yeah, my mate made that mistake. He used his. I think he used his wife, and then I think she gave up. And then he was like, "Can't play it now."
Say he used up all his annual leave.
No. It wouldn't surprise me.
That just mentioned about going up against a game. Do you know what it takes me back to? Do you remember the Fighting Fantasy books?
Yes, Steve Jackson.
Yeah, Ian Livingstone. Yeah, the 80s, early 90s. That was my
dungeon.
Oh yeah, the Warlock of Firetop Mountain. All the good ones. It was just you, a pen, a pencil, a rubber, and 2 D6.
Have you seen some of the ones on Kickstarter that are currently coming out? Have you seen them? I deliberately saw because I nearly bought about 10. There's the whole library, and now it's not just pen and paper. No, you have a developing character. You affect like the way the kingdoms like turn and like the way the wars go. They've got like really intricate systems for figuring it all out. And
these are books.
Yeah. I'll send you the link. I was really impressed, and basically they. I think they even got to the point where they were like, at the end of it, you come down to a decision like, are you going to be good or bad? Yeah. So when you play the next game, the next book, there are 2 books, and you buy the book if you went bad or the book if you went good.
That's pretty cool.
That's quite an evolution, that really, isn't it?
Yeah. But no, I'll find it. But there was quite a few Kickstarter. I have to have a look. But there was one where you even like build up a kingdom, and Britannicus Games has just mentioned Lone Wolf.
Lone Wolf by Joe Dever. Joe Dever. Yeah, he did the what was the post-apocalyptic one he did as well? It was set it was set in Texas. Oh God, that's going to bug me now.
I've forgotten his name. I've forgotten. Lone Wolf. There's a Lone Wolf role playing game, a current game, a Lone Wolf role playing game. But the books, and I remember the novels as well. And I think I'll never forget the first book is called Eclipse of Decay, or that was like the omnibus. And I remember reading it when I was quite small, and I was like, this opened my eyes because like no one was safe in that. Like, forget Game of Thrones. There were kids getting like eaten by like swamp monsters in like the first like 2 pages of the book. It was horrendous. It was aimed at young adults. It was like a big massacre at the start.
It was called the Freeway Warrior series. That was Joe Dever's. It was set sort of. I remember playing him in the early 90s, and it was set 20-25 years in the future. So, last year. But they were really good. I just think they were. I don't know. They were just really good books. I used to really love sitting down with a new fighting fantasy book.
Can you hear me?
Definitely. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Good. Okay. When it's not flashing, it means I'm on. That's fine. Just keep muted. No, sorry.
He never escaped from the House of Hell. The one fighting fantasy book I never completed was called Creature of Havoc. And you start off as this mindless creature, and you've got to find out who you are and why you've been imprisoned in this dungeon. It's quite clever. But I never finished that. It was really I think it was one of the later ones, and they'd gone a bit more adventurous with it. So in one quest line, you can meet it with this guy, and you'd add 20 to whatever page we're going to, and that was you traveling with him. So it's a bit different. Yeah, it was a bit different. So that's fighting fantasy. So what we covered? We've covered mass battles, skirmish, RPGs. What about solo gaming?
Where you can do that Nemesis solo.
Yeah,
you can play that solo completely, which is really cool. And I think I don't know. I don't really know any solo sort of games.
I'm not. I don't. Not for wargaming. I know a lot of people do solo wargaming. Yeah. I tend not to, and the only reason for that, and I don't mean this in a derogatory, is because I can play with my mate who like lives around the corner, so we play every week. So I've never really had to do it, but it's something that I would like to do, and I think playing a campaign system game like Rangers of Shadow Deep or maybe Frostgrave, something like that, would appeal to me more. To do something like that solo, so you can really get into it. Because the only thing is, when you do these narrative games, right, and role-playing games, narrative games, is if you and your mates get together, and if you guys are making an awesome narrative, and you've got like one person though that's like isn't committed to the narrative. Like, no, so that could be
people like that. People like that you don't invite back again, Martin.
Invited you back, didn't I?
Okay, so I know we've.
Is Steve frozen?
No, we're listening to your thing. You berg.
Me.
I didn't mind. Sorry.
So. I think the last one then we've touched it briefly with Dark Souls. What about actual board games?
What? Well,
I don't mean like Operation or what's that one with the donkey? Buckaroo. I mean
Buckaroo.
So I actually mean gaming driven. I mean I've heard some people say that Space Hulk is classed as a board game.
I'd say Space Hulk is a board game. It's a boxed board game. It's played on a board, so I make it a board game.
What about this war? What about this War of Mine?
That game is. Oh my god,
brutal.
that game. I played the board game and I played the computer game, and it's one of those games where I get people around. They're like, "Oh, do you fancy playing this?" Yeah, you're playing Survivors, or not Survivors. You're like, you're just trying to survive in a war, and you no one leaves that feeling happy. No one leaves your game. No one leaves your house at night going, "I had a really good game." Like, no, my person managed to survive 5 days longer than my friend who starved to death.
Yep. We only survived because we killed the granny down the corner.
A good board game, but it's classed as a board game, but again, it'd be a war game. Is the big World War II one I've been playing. It's called Tide of Iron. That is a brilliant game. My mate has that, and we were playing through the whole Eastern Front campaign. I'm guessing if you were looking at the models, they would be 10 mil or ish, I guess. Lovely models. It's all based on, all squads are based in threes, and you've got like little slot bases to pop them in, and huge boards and just loads and loads of scenarios. Quite hard to get hold of now. I don't know if it's even produced, but Tide of Iron, especially if you like your World War II, that's an awesome game to play. Carl's done a good shout as well. There's a game called Memoir 44.
Yes,
yeah, that's really good.
Right. I think it was rather enlightening chat. That chaps, it's given me certainly given me some food for thought. Anyway,
well, the plastic crack covers more than just, I suppose, more than we can see it in the Facebook group as it's getting bigger and bigger, and the variety of what people are posting. And as we said, when I put up the post to respond, we welcome all aspects of modelling, gaming, and hobbying, because you never know who you might get into a game. Dom.
I always think that it's very rare that I see a game that I just instantly poo-poo. I just go, "Oh God, no, no, not never." I think there's always something that makes.
Sounded like Dom then. Dom with Epic.
I can't see that ever happening. To be fair,
no, I can't.
I mean, hope springs eternal and all that, but I don't know. I think the day we see Dom playing Epic, I think Satan's going to be going to work on a snowplow. It's not happening really, is it?
I did get some funny looks down the glove, I've got to admit.
I mean, isn't that Dom's club's largely historical? Isn't it?
Oh wait, no. But this week, because Dom's not here, is it Ken's club?
Ken's club.
Yeah, it's our club.
Our club.
He hates it when I say that.
Oh no! I can't
he if you hadn't have started going there, he wouldn't have built that shed. You notice that you started going and then he built the shed.
Oh, but yeah, you turn up his club and all of a sudden Dom's got a fallout shelter in his back garden.
Got to get away from him.
Not saying it's a coincidence or anything, but
just saying.
I just think it's a bit iffy to me, that it really is.
I know.
But no, I think that was good. I mean, what I liked was the amount of recommendations people were giving in the chat for different RPGs and solo games and board games. That's really got me thinking.
Should we after the show, should we just create a thread in on the Facebook group and come and join the Facebook group if you're not already a member? Links down below. We're very close to hitting 400 members. If we start a thread, put all your recommendations in there. I'll chuck up the RPGs, anything that you think is a good game that might get someone into. And
if you can put a link to it as well, so people can just click it and have a look straight off the bat.
Yeah, Bill. Security is not a dirty word, but crevice is a very dirty word. I just thought I'd just got a Blackadder reference in there. Yeah, that's a great idea. Well, we'll get that set up on the Facebook group so we have recommendations aplenty. I think we've got news, haven't we?
We have some news, yeah.
Right. Not as much as Dom was here, but yeah.
No.
Dom goes digging, doesn't he? He loves his news, right?
Yeah.
He's got to do something during his conference calls.
Right. I apologise in advance for everyone's ears.
One day we will get that sorted.
We'll get that sorted.
I was very close this week. Very close.
So has anyone got news?
Go on, you go for it.
I think I posted one. I've got one. I don't really have news, but I found this. I think many people have probably seen this before though. Warlord Games are doing Tanksgiving. Yeah. So 3-on-2 on selected tanks. Limited availability as always. Has anyone ever used that?
No.
I have. I picked up a Hetzer, a Panzer III, and a Char B1 Bis about 3 years ago.
You absolute Warlord fanboy.
I am.
I realised, right, that I think that my World War II knowledge is actually declining. So I think I'm just forgetting things, and I didn't. It's because I when I was doing Flames of War and my early bolt action, I had loads of reference books. First of all, I don't know what I'd done with them, and I was looking at my models the other day, going, "Do you know what? I'd have no idea now what some of this stuff is." I need to find something from World War II that I want to do, and then I need to research the hell out of it and really put myself back into it.
That's what I love about a good bolt action project is the research and building up one's knowledge. So that was my sole piece of news out the way.
Yeah, I was going to say Warlord Games obviously got their 33% off Black Friday. So it could be worth having a check out there. I haven't bought anything, but some people might want to. And obviously, I think, is it Elite Miniatures, is it? Elite, they're doing that bundle still, aren't they? So, yeah. Pretty much type in. Don't forget to check Amazon as well for your products, because sometimes sellers on their Amazon
I got a few bits of news. So it's carrying on with the sort of the store theme. Footsore are doing miniatures and games 3 for 2 in November. They've got 340 packs, and you get the cheapest packs are free. And so if you're looking to, build up, they've got an awesome range. I mean, I'm going to be going on there because they've got just some awesome Crusaders. And the Seldrics, they've got the awesome Gulam cavalry. That's where I was going to get them from, and now I'm just going to go and kit that unit out. So check it over. I think that runs until the end. So the end of the month, but head over to Footsore. There was somebody I missed at Salute. I was looking forward to going around Footsore. Next, I keep on posting up pictures from the Batman miniatures game because I just like the miniatures that they're putting out. I'm never going to buy them, but I just think that, so I don't know if you've seen this, Ken. I showed this to Steve while you're at, but check this out. So Mr. Freeze is getting some friends.
Fucking hell.
But look at, it's a snowball gun and there's a little bear loading the snowballs into the gun.
And the bear's got his tongue out, which is even funnier.
And as Steve said, though, he could see these in a Conflict 47 Russian army.
I'm quite surprised you couldn't see him in a Turnip 28 army, to be honest with you.
I was saying you could paint those you could paint those snowballs as turnips. Just saying. So, but yeah, I just the thing is, they do put out interesting models. They are not cheap. I would say that.
No,
is this the Batman stuff? Yeah. No, they're not cheap, are they?
Yeah, no, they're not cheap. The skirmish game, I had a great deal of fun playing the first.
They're pre-painted. Are they pre-painted though? I can't remember.
No.
There's a load of models that are pre-painted. I can't remember who that is.
Yeah, no, these definitely are not. But Games Workshop are doing some releases for Middle Earth. I'll do this one first. Now, if there's anybody in here who's a fan of the Easterlings, they are getting a new release, which is these guys called the Black Dragons, which are
very
initiates into the cult. So they are very cool. Now, I think those are plastic.
Yeah, they are.
Because then I don't think those are going to be Forge World releases. Well, they might be, mind you. The last time they did something like that, they did up in as Forge World releases. When they did the Dunland, the Wild Men.
They're not that resin stuff, are they? They're not the resin. They're only releasing stuff in plastic now. Games.
Yeah, I think so. So there's some of the Lord of the Rings stuff is still in resin, isn't it? You mean the Games Workshop releases, not the Forge World releases?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I'm not too sure. But so the Easterlings again, so I was hoping that maybe there were going to be some new Easterling releases coming up, and wondered if that was potentially one of the new books. I was wondering if they were going to look at some of the stuff to do with what Sauron was up to over there. And speaking of Lord of the Rings, for Christmas, Games Workshop are re-releasing. They are releasing the Balin's Tomb board game.
Yeah,
it's like a board game. They've made a board game out of it, basically.
Yeah, they've done this scenario. I think Stuart on Miniature Realms, they do their podcast out of the frying pan, don't they? Check it out if you haven't listened to it. But I think they've done this scenario like 9 different times, 9 different ways to play it. This scenario since they've released it. This one has been done a lot.
Well, it is kind of the one, probably the most iconic,
recognizable
scene in the first film, and probably in the
well, yeah, because it's really the only real major action scene that the Fellowship do before one. There's not all of them, really, isn't it?
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. It comes with the original Fellowship box, doesn't it? The original Fellowship figures. And it comes with Moria Goblins. I said this to Ken beforehand, and I know this isn't the point of it. The only thing I would say is I guess it'd have been cooler if they'd have resculpted the Fellowship, because they just sell it. I think you can't expect them to do it for just that box game. They've got all the stuff already, so they might as well just put it out in there. It's a way to pick up loads of stuff, probably just a cheaper. I was about to say discounted, a cheaper price. But a complete Fellowship resculpted in the sort of the way that they're doing some of the new ones would be very, very cool.
Yeah, I've got to admit.
But yeah, so not loads of news, but enough. So there we are. That's my. I haven't got the quite the chops that Dom does when he goes off searching for all of the things.
No, we'll have him back next week. He can make up for it.
Definitely.
Oh, I've got the wrong one there. I'm trying. Ken, where's I've lost the overlay.
Top one, mate.
Oh, it's the top one. All right. Seamless as ever. There you go. Yeah, quite short on news. I imagine Dom would have done a bit more digging around the more obscure parts of the internet that Ken's banned from.
That's because he's written fiddle yard in Google too often.
Yeah, that definitely gets you put on a special list, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Right.
What, I am glad of my train purchase.
What? Okay, Ken. What is it? Let's have a look.
It is a class 4P Fowler class. Yes, very happy. Passenger, so late. So it'd have been late British Rail. Yeah, it's a nice loco actually. Very nice loco. I've seen it running second hand, £90. I thought that might shake him up a bit. Yeah, it's cheap actually, believe it or not. Because it's second hand. This is £140 retail. Right, 140 quid.
I have
that is £140 retail.
I have a Mallard that I bought retail, right, many years ago, and I've still got it. And I know it's hard to go. And I went on eBay to have a look at it, and the money that people like want for them is crazy. But
yeah,
I've never run it. It's still in the box. I've never run it. I have no idea what it's worth. I don't really want to get rid of it.
I'll trade you that Nemesis game for it.
No chance. You just told me you paid 60 quid for it.
Oh yeah, only for the whatchamacallit, not with the miniatures included, just the box game. I've got the miniatures as well. I've got the minis as well.
I see.
I'm glad I'm not the only one in a state of shock at the price of this stuff.
Yeah, and we moan about bloody boxes of 25 quid. Oh, Laura nearly had a heart attack when I told her how much it was.
Did you tell her?
Yeah.
From what distance? Was it over the phone from a different county?
Well, I didn't pay for it, did I? Because I traded some stuff in the train man.
Oh, right, okay.
So it was safe to tell her, but I dare not say anything else. Because yes, that's
an interesting question. So now you've scaled up.
Yeah. What's
happened to the track plan?
Oh, I've got to redo it. So that week of spending doing it is for nothing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just yeah. I'm gonna paraphrase Jim here. Speechless.
I like trains. Choo choo. Right. Who else is it? Ken, can I get some trains for half that? Ken, I can get you some trains for half that. Even smiley face. Yeah, they're fucking Thomas. I was actually interested. And I can get you trains for half that, and then I read the rest. I was like, can you? Jesus.
Yeah, I mentioned before, but watch that episode of Thomas the Tank Engine where they brick Henry up in a it's absolutely, that is like an introduction to nihilism 101. It really is.
I watched an episode of the new Thomas the Tank Engine recently, and that made me sad because it's just not the same.
No, it's not. There was a program called Tugs. Did you guys ever watch that?
we in the fiddle yard.
No. It's called.
Let me just go onto Google and check that, shall we?
I do remember. I do.
Yeah, that was really good. I watched all the episodes on YouTube the other day. Took me back to my childhood. So I forget we are actually on the Plastic Crap podcast.
Should we have a look at some nice painted figures from the Facebook?
I think that would be a very.
I think the sooner we stop Ken talking is probably the best thing for everyone, especially for Ken.
Yeah.
We can promise that for the next 9 or 20 minutes there'll be no more train chat. Everyone's safe from
tugs.
Or tugs. There won't be tugs.
Hopefully not.
Or fiddle yards.
Or paying £90 for a second-hand train. Right. First one is some Hanoverians from Andris. Look at these.
Oh, very
nice, man. Is that a dog?
Cool. Yeah, that's the. I think. He must have paid up. It's the dog from the. I assume it is from the rifles box. So those Jaegers, I imagine, is made up out of the rifle because there isn't a great deal of difference in the uniforms. I believe. Please don't hurt me. No, they are very cool. You see that there? That's a lot of long range fire and re-rolling of misses right there.
What he makes then? What manufacturer?
That's Warlord.
Is it
Warlord? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, the rifleman, the Jaegers are. I'm pretty sure the gun is as well. Although I wonder, actually, I think it is. Yeah.
They're actually quite nice. I like them.
Very nice.
I can turn them up.
You can turn up anything you can, Steve.
Yes, that's the plan. That's the plan. Up next is a bit more burrows and badgers from Gaza. Look at them.
Very cool.
They are so nice.
Is that the? Are they the new? No, they're not the new ones, are they? I was about to say because that's the current witch hunter. So, yeah. But that's the. I really like the mouse nun reading the book. Like the one who's probably in the most non-combative pose there. And then really you've got a massive beaver in the back with a hammer. That's right, I said beaver.
Can't go wrong with that. No, that I had the mouse nun with my starter warband, and I was like, how the bloody hell am I meant to paint this? I've never painted a mouse nun before.
Have you painted a normal nun? Have you painted a human nun?
Not since the injunction now. But they were I just think that they just look so nice. They really do.
They do. I mean, we talk about it all the time, but they are lovely models to paint. And
I can't praise them enough. I mean, everyone knows that I'm not a fan of metal miniatures, but they absolutely almost converted me to liking metal miniatures.
They are nice. They are very nice.
They're lovely.
I'll tell you what, I did get. I forgot a bit of news. I did get an email from the cult that I'm part of for the old the vicaring, telling me I've been ordained for the last, I think it's 16 years now. So,
what are you now like an?
They tried me to. They tried to get me to buy some more. Well, they sent me my certificate. No, so they sent me my certificate again, and they wanted me to buy a new dog collar.
I want to see this certificate.
A new dog collar? What?
Yeah. Yeah, they wanted me to buy a new dog collar and some robes. Yeah. Yeah, I'll get the email up next week. Yeah, there you go. Preview.
Please buy the dog collar.
Yeah.
Actually, when you go on the internet and type in dog collar, right? Make sure you've cleared your browser history, because if Fiddle Yard is in there, then you're gonna. Sorry, that was me bringing that up on.
Your front door will be being put through. Let's look at some. Let's have a look at some nice elves from Carla. Look at these.
They are wicked. Are they? Where are they from?
I don't know.
Like Anubis looking.
Yes.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? They're very cool. They're extremely cool, actually.
They're really, really very nice. I wonder who makes Carla. If you're in the chat, who makes these? I've never seen these before.
And if you're not, and Carla, if you're not in the chat, put it on the Facebook group. Who makes those? They're awesome. Look at the pennant. Look at the standard. Look at
they are very, very cool. Yeah, I really like these sort of the sort of Egyptian
and the robes as well on the feet.
Very nice. Skin tone is awesome.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. God, I can't stop looking at them. They're really, really nice. Anyway, how about some?
They are from TT Combat.
Really?
Okay.
Wow. Okay, we'll have to go and check that out.
I know TT Combat did though. They do halfling armies, don't they? I didn't know they did elves.
Yeah, that's cool.
Anyway, these are from Jamie. Some War of the Roses Bowman.
Yeah, can't go wrong. I really like those. I really like the Sabbath base he's got there.
Who's that? Who's that then? Mine.
I imagine. Well, it's obviously yours.
Hastings?
Yes, it doesn't badge. It'll be either Hastings or Richard or Edward.
I think he does.
Or George, Duke of Clarence.
I think he said Gloucester.
Yeah, so that's Richard.
Right.
Oh yes, yes, that is his Gloucester. Yes, I remember now because I commented on it. There's just been a lot of Wars of the Roses stuff going up recently, so it's
yes, it's really quite popular. It's from Kev, bit of Star Wars Legion.
Oh, nice, man.
Yeah, he put up loads of photos. So Kev's obviously who I play against a lot. So, but I love that because when you buy the like the escape pod, it comes with like new objectives and missions to play. So it expands it even more. So and that escape pod is it's like a classic thing, really, from the film, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the thing that probably I should be worried about the most is I'm going to be playing against that. I mean, I know it's I fear a crashed escape pod. That's how badly I roll. Well, everyone knows how badly I roll. So
let's have a look. So yeah, it's good seeing a bit of Star Wars Legion. I thought this one was really good. This one from Nick Longshanks.
Oh, lovely.
Very cool.
Just look at the face on that. It's full of character.
Yeah, that was really nice, actually. Bushy hair, lovely tash.
Very cool. That's I take it that yeah, that's Baron Wars Footsore, of course. So we've got that 3 for 2 thingy going on. So that's very cool. Good old Longshanks.
Oh, so he was tall. Is that why he was called Longshanks?
Yes. And he was called Hammer of the Scots because he liked doing house repairs in Scotland. No,
he had a big hammer.
Yeah. Well, he just fought the Scots. That just reminds me as well. After this, I'm going to go and watch that Royal Bastards thing that's about the Wars of the Roses. That's been doing. But I watched the trailer for it, and that already kind of got me a bit tetchy. So after this, I'm gonna go and watch the first episode of it. So that's just reminded me. But that is a lovely. But that yellow is so bold.
Yes,
I am trying to put more yellow on my stuff at the minute. So.
And there's some stuff from Nick at British Legion. Don't often see much of this on the podcast. A bit of Wild West Exodus.
Oh, nice.
Very cool. That's very cool.
And that's his Dead or Alive posse. They are. I mean, I know
they're bigger than 28, aren't they? They're 32, are they?
They're 32, pushing 35. But then is 32, or is that, when you say 32 mil, is that 32 to 35, or is it 28 to 32?
Banned.
Sorry.
No, Martin, how nice are those miniatures?
I love them. No, I think they're brilliant. I think these sets are great, and it's a really fun game. That's another game I'd recommend as well, actually. On top of all of the others, we played it a couple of weeks ago. Had an absolutely fantastic time. But they are lovely. They are lovely, aren't they? I really like what he's done. I like all the jeans.
Yes.
I'm trying to perfect the blue for jeans, and it's I'm using that
you go lighter than what you think. You got to go lighter than what you think, don't you?
You kind of got to go lighter and then go light and then dull it down and then weather it, because that's basically what jeans. That's how it goes, isn't it? Just get
denim.
So. Martin, for reference, check out Shakin' Stevens.
To think about what you're talking about for a minute, but yes, I will.
But yeah, they're great. I get another game that I've got and never played. I think I've got 2 factions. I've got the starter box and the Iron Lawman one.
Yeah,
that was good. But they're lovely to paint. I've just never got around to painting them. Right, this next one is beyond words. This is from Paul.
Oh yes, yeah. That is just awesome, isn't it? So that's his Richard, the third troop in his colours before the Battle of Bosworth, and he's got he's just phenomenal. He's done non-metallic metal on Richard, then he's done true metallic metal on the other ones to like separate him. And then he told me, or sorry, he didn't tell me. He put it in the post that he wasn't happy with the livery. So that would be the livery that we showed off last week. And so he went back and repainted it.
He wasn't happy with it.
I'm sure he said that. Yeah. So yeah, he's got one there, and he's cool. He's got the arms of England. He's got Richard's banner. He's got his livery banner. And then if you want to see more of these, they're on the Plastic Crack group. But I know he's put them on a couple of other groups as well. But if you have a look at the, so you've got the guy in the bottom right. He's got Richard's boar on him. Then you've got one who's wearing who's got Edward's son in splendor, and then you've got another one who's just got a Yorkist rose. So he's tried to put all of the Yorkist symbols like throughout it. He's not just done one, and it's just awesome. It's just stunning.
Yeah,
all made out of the plastic Foot Knights kit as well. He's just converted and kit bashed it.
Yeah, that Perry's kit. Oh yeah.
Just
it's very cool.
When he posted that, I was like, bloody hell's fire! That's a bit good, isn't it? Really, really good stuff.
It's just wicked, isn't it? Yeah, very cool. I think as well. I don't want to ruin the surprise, but I think he may be planning another. But I won't say what the subject is.
Something altogether different now. This is from Roy. It's Dirty Harry.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there you go. I just wanted to play you feeling lucky, punk.
What I love about that is the size of the Magnum 44.
Oh, it's very, very overcompensated, isn't it?
It's awesome. It's just awesome.
I mean, I know he's been posting quite a lot of these, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I grabbed this one. I thought this is my favorite, and it's just something so good about it. Imagine a Dirty Harry tabletop game. I think I'd definitely play that.
Yeah, that would be rather good.
Bit niche,
for sure.
But no, that was. I'll have to paint some of that because that was so.
I was going to say, Steve, you've not watched the Dirty Harry game in ages, film in ages, have you?
No.
Maybe a Magnum Force or something is due.
I just love the first one. I mean, I like all the following ones, but that first one is just so good. I'm a bit of a Clint Eastwood fan.
Yeah.
I know Phil's been working on his Island Assault box, and there is his Japanese force there. Very, very nice.
It is nice, man. Is that the whole thing in it? Or just the Japanese side?
That's just the Japanese version of the Japanese side. I think he's also been painting his Marines, but I think he said he's finished the entire box.
Okay.
But yeah, well done, Phil. That looks really, really good. Looking forward to seeing you at gaming with some of those.
Definitely.
Okay, Ken, brace yourself.
Hooray!
Yes.
That's great. Happy days.
So, some epic naps from Stefan, who picked them up at Salute.
Mm-hmm.
They look really nice. They really do.
I can agree, Stefan. Yes, they're just the wrong colour. They need to be blue.
Controversial.
I thought he was having a crack on the uniform. Then I was like, "What's he doing?" I was like, "What's he talking about?"
He's gone full button counter. He's gone rogue. Stop him, somebody. Up next, we've got some more Wars of the Roses from Tony. This is
Oh yeah, that's his Edward.
Yes.
Oh shit, Martin.
Very, very cool.
This is all because of you, Martin. Sure, you inspire people.
I just love it. Look at it. That's just awesome. See, the thing is, I'm about these is I've said to Robin now because I've got my Edward mounted like this. Now I'm just tempted to make command bases with them all on foot as well, just so I can put them in the units because I've done some on foot and some but it's mainly because I really, really like the miniatures. I just want to paint them again. I
just like that base. It's full, but it's not busy. I mean, I think it'd be easy to make bases that size really busy with figures. But I think that is just spot on. It just looks so good.
It does look really nice.
Lovely stuff.
Very nice.
Next up is Torbjorn with some.
Hey, now that's very, very nice.
So I think that's nice. For sharp practice there as a deployment marker.
Yeah, that's cool. Put the detail on the orders.
Yeah, the detail on that table is fantastic. I just so much character in that. It's really, really good. I think that's a good thing. The good thing about sharp practice and chain of command with the jump off points and the deployment markers, you can make little mini dioramas like that.
Yeah, you can.
That really, really helps.
No, definitely.
Awesome stuff. Ken, another one for you from Tony.
You, yes. Oh, I like that guy on the right. I like that hat.
What, that one there?
That's forest cap, isn't it?
Yeah, it comes with that.
Yeah.
That's from the Perrys. They were the ones I butchered the other week to make turnip figures from.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That is awesome. I would love to be able to work out what line. I want to say that's the 54th, actually. Actually, looks like the 54th.
If you've got that right, I will be stunned. I'm not because the French
I'm telling you
look
now,
more similar than
2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. Have they got rare epaulets on the not epaulets on the cuffs? Red. Yeah. And then they've got red, yellow, green on the epaulets on the top. Yeah, that's the 54th.
They were the ones that was the colour.
I'm going to go on his post just to see if that's.
They were the ones I was painting mine, and I hated it. I mean, red, green, and yellow.
Can you just stick it? Can you stick it back up once more, just quickly? And is it yellow on the collar? Yeah, that's the 54th.
Who are you?
Far too bright.
Look at that! Yes. Do you know why? Because I'm painting them right now.
Is he right? Is he right? Is he confirmed in the comments? Are you right?
I'm painting for the 50. I'm painting the 54th right now. The Voltigeurs, literally.
So yeah.
I'm sure it is. Yeah, I'm sure it's the 54th.
And last but not least, we have these more 3D prints from Warren. Look at these werewolves. Just look at them.
Is he going to be using those for Rangers of Shadow Deep?
I do believe so. You could also use those for the Silver Bayonet as well.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I love the shadow on those. It's just the on the abs there.
Yeah.
Look at the muscularity.
They're built like brick shit houses. They really are.
They are.
But they're the thing is though, if you didn't know, you'd say they weren't 3D printed. They're that good. They're just absolutely ridiculous. All of the stuff that Warren shows is 3D printed, and they're all fantastic. And there we go. So apologies to anyone I didn't get to. We had a really, really good smattering of pictures last week. So don't forget to post your weekly updates in the Facebook group, and it's a good chance you'll appear on the following week's podcast.
There is, and it's just good to see all because it gives us ideas as well. I just see my mobile. I was looking for a base in my big bag of big red bat bases. I have one specific base. You know when you think you've got more than the two that you have.
Yeah.
And you're like, I was like looking, going, I know I've got it because what I did was I did a bit of a Ken and I prearranged my my Normans into bags for the command base, and I had them on the base. And then I sat there thinking, did I put the base back in the big bag with all the other bases, or did I put another one? Give Martin a red card for all the noise. Only for giving Ken a red card for when he turned on the shaky thing, which was louder. So,
oh, dearie me. What a successful chat that was with regards to the different games. I really enjoyed that. That was very enlightening.
I still missed our esteemed host, though, wherever he may be in Malta drinking
host.
wine.
What do you mean, our esteemed host?
Co-host.
Co-host. Sorry, co-host.
I think he just slated you somehow there. I'm not entirely sure, Steve.
No.
So it's gone next week, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure. I can promise you there will not be any epic chat.
Yeah. It's up to you. We could still talk about it. We'll find out what happens this week in Epic, because no doubt you will be posting something this week. So I'm sure there'll be some brand new drama.
There will be a painting video of the line. I put a Facebook poll out on the Epic actual group before we came on to ask, what would you like these painted up into the first video, like line, light, Italians or Swiss? And basically everyone's saying line, then light. Few are saying Italians, but one poor person has said Swiss.
Yeah, Swiss last. They didn't play that. I mean, come on, what happened? They defended a bridge.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
they are also. I feel I do like the Swiss. They're fun to paint red coats in the French army.
But there's no Italians there anyway.
No, exactly. But why not?
Yeah,
why not?
I'll tell you what. Do these Italians is a piece of piss. Literally, spray white, and you're pretty much done. Apart from just putting a tiny bit of green or a bit of red.
Please write that and put it in that group.
Yeah.
Spray white and you're done.
Ken, I reckon you'll hear air raid sirens going off literally as soon as you hit send.
It'll be so worth it though, won't it, guys?
Will be you'll be an ostracized man. Right, it's past 10 o'clock. Thank you to everybody for showing up and engaging in the comments. again, massive thank you to everyone's suggestions for new games. Like Martin said, head over to the Facebook group and let's get a thread started for recommendations for an all manner of different games. I think that'd be quite interesting.
Answer questions free. Don't forget to answer questions free.
Yes, if you are going to join, please answer the questions. Dom gets irate and he takes it out on us.
We're the ones who get beaten with sticks.
If it doesn't come up with questions when you ask to join, it's probably because you're on a phone. You need to try it on a desktop if it doesn't do it, or like a laptop or something. But if I ever reject your thing, I'll always reject it and say you need to answer the questions. Try the PC, and I hope.
Whereas
Don't just go. Fuck you. Go!
I just leave it for one of you guys. If they haven't been answered, I leave it for one of you guys to reject. I don't think I've ever rejected anyone. I leave it for someone else. No, I don't want to do it.
I think with Dom, the red mist just descends, and he just loses all sense of reason and starts rejecting people out of the sense of power that's given to him.
If you want to keep up with Ken's Napoleonic journey, his channel's down below as well, isn't it? So,
yes.
I say his Napoleonic journey. His second Napoleonic journey.
Yes.
Oh, the French. Oh, I feel like I'm at home. It feels so nice.
And on that note, big thanks to everyone who's watching on the catch-up. We'll be back next week on Dom's channel, so keep a lookout in your subscriptions for that. Once again, thanks a lot, everybody, and we'll see you all next week. See you now.
Bye.
Don't forget to chew along.
You didn't